Direct Connection is made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities and is made possible by the generous support of our members. Thank you. Live from Maryland Public Television, this is Direct Connection with Jeff Salkin.
Good evening. Welcome to your Direct Connection. We begin this week's program live on location at BWI Airport to get answers to your questions about holiday travel. Joining us is Ricky Smith, the Executive Director and CEO of BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. Mr. Smith, good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Jeff.
Thanks for having us at your garage here.
Yeah, I wish I could have brought you better weather, but this will work.
This could be a lot worse this time of year.
That is true.
So the first thing I wanted to ask you about is Thanksgiving. So we're a couple of weeks past that holiday. The last time you and I were standing here in person, we were indoors because masking wasn't a thing. It was a couple of years ago. Thanksgiving had always been such a crush. What was it like this year?
Well, Thanksgiving stood up to the Super Bowl reputation that it has. For the first time since the pandemic, we had, pre-pandemic traffic levels for the whole period. And so we're very excited about that. We went into the period thinking that we were going to have traffic backups and long lines at the checkpoints. Traffic moved steadily. And so we're very happy with how the Thanksgiving holiday period went.
How did it compare in number of passengers? I don't know if you get daily passenger counts, but if you go back pre-pandemic, was it back to that peak or getting there?
So we normally have, on a normal day, we'll have about 50,000 passengers a day. Thanksgiving, it might get closer to 60,000. We're about 55 to 59,000 passengers.
What are you expecting for the rest of this year, the holiday period?
Well, the Christmas holiday period is not as demanding at one time because the traffic is spread out. We're expecting close to record setting levels again, but traffic will be fine.
We're hearing some traffic in the skies above us right now. What do you want people to know about flying BWI with, unfortunately, this pandemic still going on?
Well, we want passengers to remember to come to the airport early. We recommend about a couple hours earlier. If you're flying internationally, you might want to get here an extra hour earlier, so maybe 3 hours early. Remember that you have to wear a mask. That's an FAA and TSA requirement that you wear a mask in the facility. Social distancing is still the order of the day, and so be prepared to do that as well. You'll run into some passengers that may be a little skittish about flying, and so again, give yourself some time to kind of work through a less efficient passenger processing period.
Just walking through the airport while I've been here, I was seeing maybe 2/3 compliance on people being masked up, a lot of people not. It's not something you're actively stopping people trying to enforce, are you?
Well, that's interesting because, the airport employees have taken on the responsibility of reminding passengers to wear a mask. The airport is one of the few places where you are required to wear a mask at all times, and so passengers come in, they're not used to it, and so they have to be reminded. We're not being heavy-handed with it, but we are reminding passengers to wear a mask.
There have been incidents on airplanes, of course, all over the country. A lot of people traveling, maybe a heightened state of anxiety because of the pandemic. There have been some disruptions on flights. You haven't noticed anything like that in terms of the terminal?
So we haven't had any major issues here at BWI, but we've had some occurrences. We try to pay a close attention to them. What we've noticed is that sometimes people may have a little more to drink than normal when they get on the aircraft, and so we put measures in place to try to control the alcohol intake. But for the most part, passengers are being compliant, and there's some exceptions that are newsworthy.
Let me remind our viewers, if you have a question about BWI for Mr. Smith, send us an email to livequestions@mpt.org. What has this period been like for people who earn a living at the airport? Of course, the flight volumes went from very, very busy to almost nothing at the beginning of this.
Yes. And so, and those employees were terrified, right? Because they just didn't know when it was going to come back to normal. The employees here are excited. This is what we live for. They're really anxious to serve the passengers. And so you see excited, anxious employees who are ready to serve the passengers. We're happy to see people traveling.
It's interesting to be standing where we are, which is overlooking kind of the southwest drop-off point for,
Yes.
for departing passengers. And when I think about holidays, I always think about dropping people off here the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So you have, they call it getaway day, right?
That's
The
right,
Wednesday
that's right.
before the Thursday of Thanksgiving.
That's right.
But then that Sunday morning is when everybody shows up. And what percent of your volume is Southwest?
So about 60% of our volume is Southwest Airlines.
Okay, so
passengers, yes.
all of those people think that they need to drop off right here, and you wind up getting these big traffic jams coming into the airport.
So, and you're right, but see, we have a recommendation for those passengers. Pick up on the upper level, right? You're looking at the upper level here, right? Because most passengers are being picked up on the lower level. If you simply go to the upper level, you have more room to work, and it's easier to get in and out.
What happened, we talked about the people who work at the airport, I mean, the people who drive the shuttle buses and all that. Did you have to close parking lots?
So at the height of the pandemic, yes, we closed our long-term lots. We also closed our ESP lot, that's our express service parking lot. And we had to shut down the shuttle service that supported those lots for a host of reasons. We're still working to get the shuttle service back up to full capacity. Staffing is a challenge, as it is everywhere else. But we think for this holiday season, as with the Thanksgiving holiday season, we think we'll have sufficient shuttle service and employees to support the airport passengers.
I hear plenty of planes coming and going.
That is good news.
Your number of departures compared to where you were 2 years ago?
So our departures continue to be down. They're down about 15%. Part of that is because the airlines are right-sizing their operations with traffic demand. But we're still happy to see traffic up.
How much of it is business travelers who have now done, I'm sure you've done, thousands of meetings on Zoom and Skype and other platforms, and maybe aren't ready to go fly and maybe never will for a meeting that can now happen electronically?
Well, actually, it's the leisure traveler that's really driving the return, the recovery. But I always say, leisure travelers are largely business travelers traveling for leisure purposes, right? And so we expect February, March sometime that the business travel will start coming back. We don't know yet what the impact of virtual meetings will be, but we expect business travel to come back sometime in the first quarter.
Email from a viewer, press the right button. What vaccines are needed and how many days are they taken before we depart for Florida in the spring? Domestic travel, is there any requirement for vaccination?
There are no requirements for vaccinations for domestic travel. However, for international travel, especially if you're a non-citizen, you have to be vaccinated before you can come into the country. To travel internationally, you have to have a negative test 24 hours before your trip.
I did notice the international terminal downstairs where people come in, there were tables set up and people, I guess, from the health department handing out home COVID test kits.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, for international, there are things to consider. And you said earlier, you might want to get here an hour earlier than you otherwise would have.
Well, just to clear, you want to get here about 3 hours early for international travel. That's about an hour earlier than for domestic, right? Because you just don't know what you might run into. So you want to be safe, more safe than sorry.
What's happening in terms of international destinations?
So Europe is open, and so we have robust travel to Europe. We launched service about a month and a half ago to Senegal. So that Air Senegal is doing quite well. Iceland Air is doing quite well. So those routes that are open are doing quite well out of BWI Marshall, but you still want to be careful and make sure that you follow all the CDC recommendations.
Is Senegal probably not daily, once or twice a week?
It's 3 days a week.
Really?
3 times a week, yes.
That's great. How do you see BWI competing for international travel going forward? What are your goals?
Well, BWI is largely a domestic airport, although we have international travel to get you anywhere in the world, at least one stop. And so we're happy about that. We certainly don't compare to Dulles, for example, which is predominantly an international airport. But our international traffic continues to grow. Prior to the pandemic, we had market growth in international traffic year over year.
Other destinations that have been added over the last year or so?
So domestic travel, we've had more destinations to the south, as you can recall, Florida. which is a popular destination because of the leisure environment. South America, Mexico have all been popular destinations. We've had new service and new frequencies, sometimes not a new destination, but increased frequencies.
This airport has been a construction zone for my entire lifetime, I believe. There's always something going on.
Airports are always under construction.
What are you working on now?
Well, so we just opened the Concourse A extension, which introduced our new restrooms. In a couple months, we'll be looking at a new renovation to the Southwest Airlines terminal. We have an aircraft maintenance facility for Southwest that we're going to start working on, and we have a bunch of bathrooms in this facility that we're going to renovate as well. And so we're looking forward to those projects.
You know, I think I saw that because it went to the Board of Public Works, and it was a big number for renovating some bathrooms. So these are not going to be ordinary bathrooms.
So it's about $48 million for the bathroom, but it's going to be about 16 units.
What is that per stall?
Oh, well, per stall, it's not a per stall count, actually. It's quite a construction project to create space to expand the restrooms.
All right, viewer email. The viewer says, notice there aren't as many police officers and security people around BWI. Is that because there are more plainclothes people?
Well, actually, there is a heightened level of police presence in the airport. TSA is fully staffed at the airport. Our private security staff is fully staffed, and so there's not a letdown in security presence at the airport at all.
Viewer wants to know about the eateries here. If somebody's going to be coming early, they may want to get something to eat.
Yes.
Is everything back open, and are they able to staff up? You mentioned you've had trouble with shuttle bus drivers.
So about 98% of our food and retail units are now open. So that's pretty much all of them now open, and they're virtually fully staffed, particularly during peak travel periods. And so for the most part, when travelers come to the airport, they will be able to find some place to sit down and eat with fully staffed operations.
How do you think, and you've worked here for a long time, how do you think about the competition between BWI, Reagan National, and Dulles?
Well, we're winning. That's how I think about competition. We handle more passengers than those two airports. There was one point last year where we handled more passengers than those two airports combined. Now, we don't expect that to continue, but we think passengers prefer BWI because it is the easy come, easy go airport. And so from a competitive standpoint, we think we're in a very strong position.
Very reliant, as you said, on one very successful carrier. Any pros and cons to that?
Well, I think if you talk to any community in the country, they would love to have Southwest Airlines as their hub carrier. It is consistently rated as one of the top airlines in the country, if not the world. It's a low-fare carrier, and so we're very happy to have Southwest Airlines.
All right, and before we go, final advice to travelers: get here early, bring a mask.
Bring a mask, wear it properly.
Ricky Smith is the Executive Director, CEO of BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. You started working here when?
Oh, in 89.
1989. Mr. Smith, we really appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Jeff, as always.
Joining us for tonight's Your Health segment is Dr. Kirsten Like, Professor of Medicine at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me to be here.
Let's jump ahead to the conclusion of your recent work on COVID vaccines, that it is okay to mix and match what your booster shot is. And before we get into the details of that, what's the importance of that work? Why did we need to know that?
Well, we wanted to see if there was a way that we could accentuate and basically get the best bang for our buck with whatever boost you might want to get. And we just didn't know if we mixed and matched, if we would prove that A, it could be done and it was safe, and B, if we could accentuate the immune response over that which you would see from getting the same vaccine. For instance, if you had the Johnson & Johnson, could you improve that immune response by getting an mRNA, Pfizer or Moderna? And so those are really the questions we wanted to ask. The reason why it might be important, especially for people that have compromised immune systems, is maybe we could enhance the immune response for people that were having difficulties getting a good immune response in the first place. And the second reason, which is kind of a practical logistical reason, is that, a lot of pharmacies only carry one of the two or two choices. And this would just enable people, especially in rural areas, to show up at any pharmacy and get, a COVID booster of some sort without the limitations of having to find one that had an appointment with the very same vaccine that you were looking for at the time.
So you found that it was okay to mix and match.
Yes.
Is it more than okay? Is there any added benefit from having, brand X and then brand Y?
Yeah, and what we found is that all the vaccines boosted each other. That's the one conclusion, and it's safe. But there was a whole range of antibody responses. The antibodies are the proteins that develop part of your immune system, but by no means the only part of the immune system. So, for instance, it did tend to occur that mRNA vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, produced much better antibody responses than the Johnson & Johnson did, for instance. And the Johnson & Johnson that was followed by itself, so in other words, getting a second dose of the Johnson & Johnson, really produced the lowest amount of antibodies, and almost on the edge of concern in terms of just being a hair over that which we know will protect you for greater than 90%. So people that got one dose of Johnson & Johnson, if they follow that with an mRNA, they could get antibody levels almost as great as someone who got Moderna, or Pfizer.
Okay, so you came close to saying that if your first shot was mRNA, was J&J, you should get Pfizer or Moderna as your second shot, not J&J, but without saying that.
Well, I hesitate because it doesn't also include the immune response that we term T-cell immunity, and that may have some role in how long you're protected. We know now that antibodies are extremely important, but they're not the only thing that's important. And Johnson & Johnson has been excellent at preventing severe disease and death. So all of them will do that, will prevent severe disease and death. And I think that's the most important message. So, there's shades of gray in terms of which booster you might want to get. But if you just want to go one and done and get in there, that's better than not getting any vaccine whatsoever.
I was really looking for information on this a couple of weeks ago. I got a booster shot. It was the same brand of mRNA that I'd gotten the first time, but in the context of the new Omicron variant, I really wanted to know, and the information wasn't available, but I needed to get boosted at the time, which one maybe covers that variant better. We still don't know that, do we?
Well, that's because it takes weeks for these type of experiments to be done in the laboratory. And we've sent our mix and match booster samples to Hong Kong to have some analysis performed so that we can look and see how they do against the Omicron. But what is shaking out so far, and that's just with early preliminary results from Pfizer, is that you do need a pretty robust antibody response, but that does seem sufficient to overcome the Omicron. Now, I don't know results from Johnson & Johnson and Moderna, and that hasn't been released yet, and nor has the mix and match results. So those results will be coming I would expect within a week to 10 days, we will be getting a flood of information.
You did the initial testing on Pfizer there, I believe. And the mRNA technology has been a little bit scary, maybe a little bit confusing. I went ahead and got it, but I know people have worried, and because it was the first maybe mass use of new technology. But we're a year out from that now. Yeah. And we know there have been some very rare heart inflammation issues. I forget which shot. But are we getting to a point where we can really put that concern about the technology behind us?
Yeah. So first, a couple of points that I want to make to that, because I hear that a lot. Number one, we've been studying mRNA vaccines for a decade. So it's by no means new to researchers. It's just new to the public. The public.
Well, right.
wasn't
That's why I
familiar.
said mass use.
Right. And then in regards to the distribution of the mRNA vaccines, now 200 million plus people in the United States alone, there's been more than 200 million doses given, and that's an overwhelming amount of vaccine. We have plethora of safety data, and the heart inflammation that you mentioned is incredibly rare. Yes, it's present, but incredibly rare, mostly in young males. And that's a group that we watch very carefully. So again, for the mix and match, you can really pick and choose and see, okay, maybe someone did have a reaction, say, to their first vaccine. Then this gives you the flexibility that if you had a reaction, say, to an mRNA, you might want to follow that with the Johnson & Johnson. That gets perfectly reasonable immune responses by doing that. Or if you were a young woman and you were worried about the very rare clotting predisposition for Johnson & Johnson, you can avoid that altogether and go ahead and get an mRNA. So it gives people a lot more flexibility, depending on whatever nuances it may be that you're worried about.
How about the just the sore arm response to the shot? So first shot I had sore arms, second shot flu-like symptoms, but not terrible. I was really worried about the third one for that reason, that the trend was bad.
Yeah.
Turned out the third one was half a dose. My arm hurt again, and that was it.
Yeah. So that was one of the reasons that they picked the half dose, is there were a lot less side effects, and they got fairly good immune response, meaning antibody responses. So they went with the half dose. And also it had been 6 months probably since you had gotten your second dose of the mRNA. And so your body's had a time to sort of adjust to the protein, and maybe didn't mount as vigorous response for the third vaccination. But it's pretty common that people have more of a reaction for the second dose than they did for the first dose, because their body's recognizing that. And the way that the vaccine is designed is it really taps into your muscle cells. The muscle cells are the ones that are basically displaying that spike protein, and the antibodies are developing. So you're basically having a response against those muscle cells. And that's one of the reasons that you're developing a sore arm. It's just a demonstration that the vaccine is working the way it should. But if you didn't have that response, it does not mean that you didn't get an immune response. So people always flip it around and get worried that they didn't have sore arms. And that does not mean that you didn't develop an immune response. These are very, very good immune responses that occur.
And the cool thing about the technology is the ability to change it
Yes.
quickly as the disease itself evolves. Do you think the Omicron variant is going to require a change in these shots, and how long is that going to take?
Yeah, so I don't know if the Omicron is going to need its own unique booster, but regardless, the companies are already thinking along those lines. It takes about 100 days to reconfigure the vaccine manufacturing capability, so they can turn around these very precise genetic changes fairly rapidly. Maybe it sounds like 100 days is a long time, but you have to keep in mind that the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine took 4 years to develop. And so we're on a whole new time scale with the COVID-19 vaccines, and 100 days is extremely rapid for companies to turn this around. So we're hoping to test those results. We've already been testing other variants of concern, like the South African variant. We've tested boosters specific to that variant of concern. So we're quite familiar with how to change it up and look at the variants and look at boosters specific to the variants, particularly Omicron.
Let me ask an end user question here. There are so many different vaccinations that I'm supposed to get, I need to be getting. So yeah. I've had 3 of these COVID shots. I've not yet gotten a flu shot, but yeah. Probably will, especially if the numbers start ticking up. Mm-hmm. The shingles shot, is there a point where like you're you're over challenging your immune system by getting vaccinated for all this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, the COVID-19 vaccines are relatively new, so they haven't been tested, in a huge amount of vaccines being issued at the same time. We know we do recommend, if you're going to go get your COVID booster, you might as well get the flu at the same time. That's quite common. In fact, we recommend that so that you don't put it off or forget or maybe never get around to getting your flu vaccine, because it is projected that this year the flu surge will be much higher than it was last year. Last year it was essentially non-existent because everyone was indoors and socially distancing. So this year the flu, it started to peak up, but probably in January we'll be seeing a lot more flu. So this is a good time to go ahead and get your flu vaccine.
Professor Kirsten Laich, University of Maryland School of Medicine. Dr. Laich, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your questions. It's really fun to be here.
And that is Direct Connection for this week. For all of us at MPT, thank you for watching and have a good night.
Your health segments are a co-production of Maryland Public Television and the University of Maryland Medical System.
This program was made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities.